I'm Cara Allamano, and I'm a co-founder of PeopleTech Partners. PeopleTech is a group of more than 100 of the most innovative people leaders out there. They're people that I have crushes on because they do the most amazing work in the business, and they're really defining the future of work. And these are mostly companies around tech hubs like Silicon Valley, San Francisco, Seattle, Austin, New York, LA, others. And we're people that are blessed with the challenges that come with high growth companies. So we have resources, we have amazing talent, and our job is to make sure that we curate an employee experience that matches the expectations that the new people that come into our companies want. And as a part of that, we need tools to make this experience great, and PeopleTech works to bring those tools to market. So in the past, it used to be that we would pick and choose and try and piece together tools that maybe were made 10 years before, maybe if we're lucky 5 years before. And it seems like in recent years, we have a lot more people thinking about what it means to be an employee in an organization and how that's evolving. Yet we had a lot of companies that had the idea, but between having the idea, getting the funding, getting to market, and being successful, they were coming up against some challenges. So instead of waiting for those companies to figure it out, we as people leaders are going to those innovators and saying, how can we help you get to the success state? How can we help give the right feedback, make the right introductions, do early betas, get you early customers that are going to help you get to the next level? And all of this is a selfish endeavor, because then we become the customers and it makes our job as people leaders a lot easier because we have the right tools to truly engage those employees and to deliver on the promise of being the future of work. My day job is SVP of People and Places for Udemy, and we ourselves are a platform that helps contribute to employee growth and development through learning courses online. And this is out of San Francisco, and I've been in this area for almost 20 years now. So Robbie and I, when we founded PeopleTech, we have an interesting story where we were doing this work individually, kind of out in the ecosystem, and we had a mutual company that we were both helping, and that was called Reflective. And it's really cool, fast forward a few years, and we're here at the Illuminate conference that is put on by Reflective, which is one of our success stories here at PeopleTech Partners. So what we knew is together, me bringing a perspective of a people leader who is a core customer for Reflective, and Robbie, someone who sells to the customers of Reflective and has deep experience in how to engage those customers and understand them, we had a big impact on the early days, or we'd like to think that we had a strong impact on the early days of Reflective. And he said, hey, how about doing this for more companies and seeing where that could lead? I said, yeah, let's try it. And I still remember to this day some of those first phone calls. Robbie and I made a list of about 10 people leaders that we thought were amazing and that we both had in common in terms of friends or colleagues. And we split up the list, we made some phone calls, and I remember some of those early phone calls saying, hey, we have this idea where we want to go and bring more of these tools to market, and we think people like you and people like me can help these companies be successful. And those people are still part of PeopleTech today, and we've grown that group of 10 to a group of more than 100. And then beyond that, we have a strong network beyond the 100 core advisors that now numbers in the thousands. And these are people that receive our newsletter, that reach out for information, that follow our thought leadership, and attend conferences like Illuminate that we do in partnership with our companies. What's interesting about getting a group of people leaders that really have their finger on the pulse of what employees want today is you start seeing things come up that you didn't even know were going to be mission critical for companies and businesses. And one of those areas that came up about a year and a half ago was around what we have named parental inclusion. And that's everything related to thinking about being a parent, becoming a parent, and then the support you need as an employee after you've had a child, or as a young parent, or as a later parent when you're a mother or a father trying to navigate the challenges of an intense work environment in a high growth company and being a parent. So what we did on the people side with PeopleTech was start advocating and creating thought leadership around parental inclusion. And the nice thing about this is this supported both our companies, which we brought through our system, having identified parental inclusion as something that's important. And those companies include Clio, which provides prenatal and postnatal support. It includes Cara, which is fertility support for new parents. And what's also interesting is a lot of these parental issues filter through the rest of our companies that are providing coaching to leaders, companies that are helping to provide HR services to the rest of the employee base, like Bravely, who help identify challenges and help employees understand how to talk to their managers about those challenges. So what we've seen is when we bring that thought leadership to the table and we identify some of these up and coming trends within employee workforces, we're able to then translate that into support for an identification of new products and new services that can help solve some of these core issues. So we become proactive and ahead of the curve instead of one of those companies that starts losing employees because we haven't identified the need and addressed these as potential risk factors for our employee base. So what's exciting and what feels good about that is, as a part of PeopleTech, we're making work better for people, and we're, again, helping to share thought leadership around these areas that become really mission critical and important as the workplace evolves, which it's evolving so quickly in recent years. When we think about who are the people that are going to be the best advisors for PeopleTech, those are people that first and foremost have a really strong commitment to their workforce, their employee experience, and are people that aren't afraid to push the envelope a little bit. We have a group of people that are really true innovators and, in a way, entrepreneurs themselves. They just happen to be intrapreneurs within their own companies as they're building the organization that match the products that are being sold externally within the functions that serve the external market. So to be a great advisor for PeopleTech are people that are engaged with what's happening in their workforce and have an eye to the future. To be somebody who actually really cares about tools and technologies that help them do their work, and people that really want to be a part of this broad network that isn't afraid to speak out and speak about areas that are going to have a huge impact now and in the future. And what's exciting as PeopleTech has evolved is we've come from this organization that really was serving ourselves in terms of developing and mentoring and advising these early stage companies to an organization that's now advocating for how these tools can help us do better in our roles as people leaders. And we've taken that advocacy beyond just the tools and talking about thought leadership from a functional standpoint on the people side of business. So really helping, our vision is that we're going to help the rest of folks who might be having challenges on the people side of business think about it a little bit differently and maybe think about how they can leverage tools to help them build a workforce and an employee experience that works for everybody and really aligns with their organization's business strategy.